I guess, have synergized in that way, and then they've picked up these newer additions. So it is veterans with younger guys, but I think this is definitely I think if I ran the numbers correctly, maybe the third most accomplished teams in terms of making it to major stages, just on player reputation alone. And when you see those players in the server, some or somebody, they still get up to their usual antics.
Of course, the other side completely opposite, but we've got to be getting into the game itself. It will be Anubis, GR Gaming, a team that has come through with caveats all across their run in Asia. Always hounded by ping, always hounded by region. The Far East Russian team looks to make a splash and make it all the way to the major. But first and foremost, you have to go past the third most accomplished team, as Michael said.
Yeah, we were maybe running a little behind schedule, but these teams are keen to get in the server. GR working on that CT pistol, while Adam have a lot of space in through middle. Summer and Child King will at least spot some of that presence, mediocrity inside of that site, but Sal's trying to compensate.
Sal's found one, looking for a little bit more, and he will be able to collect, of course, a crucial piece of the GR side, the captain, but Wecht on the bomb side as well, one who is questioned very often, able to drop the bomb, run in himself will fall. Lihang and somebody in a position where they have to recover a reinforced bomb site and a bomb. Lihang, good for the one, but the swings from mediocrity planned out there late. And they have to be careful. There's still somebody to be careful of. Somebody starts to peek forward. He'll have to contend with Seven Nation on the other side, continuing to go for the jiggle. Turns around, goes for the wide swing. Mediocrity is back exposed, but not really giving up his head. Now he has even a stray shot as a follow-up. Lihang now realizing the opportunity lies in front of him. Time's running low. Another player down. Seven Nation all alone. And as he keeps on peeking forward, how have they given up this round?
Yeah, it didn't really feel like there should have been a way back in there for Rare Adam, but I mean, back exposed in mediocrity and, you know, I guess an inability to properly compensate in those angles. It did feel like this numbers advantage just should have been converted for GR, but this is also the caliber of players that Rare Adam bring to the table. It's also the kind of experience gap that you're maybe expecting a mistake from GR. You know, this being their first LAN with this team, and, you know, getting a big advantage like that, knowing that it can set an early precedent in this game, they get humbled very quickly. Rare Adam will be lucky they got away with that one. Somebody with 3 kills in that pistol round, but you see GR snapping straight to the force by Wecht, already landing a tag onto Kaze.
One of the things to keep in mind for GR as well is just the pressure that they're going to be feeling. Obviously, Salomux already came out in an HLTV interview talking about how they realize that for them, it is the major or bust. They can't use this as a building stone. These opportunities are far and few in between, where their young organization can, you know, pay for boot camps in St. Petersburg, in China, to be able to try and qualify for the RMR as well. The fact that they've gotten here so far seems impressive, but to them, it's not enough. So in moments of pressure like that, you either shine or you crumble.
I mean, they've been building for 2 years. You know, the core of this roster has experience that dates as far back as, I think, you know, sort of late 2022. And so they've already been building in those online officials. Somebody said it has to sort of come culmination. Seven Nation a kill into Summer, and somebody does at least answer back, finds mediocrity in the meanwhile. Somebody just trying to run interference, just try not to fall to these players inside of the canals while Kaze gets that bomb planted over on the A site.
Salo on the flank should have the advantage with HP, but somebody goes for the wide swing. Salo put down, and with that, he's still being a menace, and the remaining CTs will be cordoned away. Somebody's done more than his job. His demise is acceptable, but is there still a world where you can contain the Rare Adam buy at the very least? Maybe pick up this AK if Child King loses it on the way out. That could be really the only objective left in this round.
Yeah, just nothing really given up here by Rare Adam. They didn't try re-aggress into A main, didn't try and hunt those weapons at all, and so GR will just have to be satisfied with what little they're able to get their hands on. Or the Galil, Scout, and a Mac can be facilitated, can be used to great effect in the following if Rare Adam don't anticipate it, but they do dodge a bullet given all that aggression that GR threw towards those canals. There's a way in which that could have gone wrong, and, you know, if somebody had died quickly, then the retake was definitely on there for GR. I think what's been cool about this GR team is that, you know, there's, as far as East Russian teams, there's what, GR, Mirai, and those are kind of the two that I guess are of relevance in sort of modern Asian Counter-Strike. And they've been able to find, new players to add to their mix. Seven Nation is one of those players. Get something done with this Galil that was recovered in the previous round. He is on somewhat of an island. They've got mid-smokes down. They can actually cross and even split this A bomb site if Rare Adam were willing to take the risk. Runnin is trying to hold round the edge of it.
Sal in the meanwhile spots out the push coming through. The players are in position to rotate. Seven Nation finds a one, but Runnin is the trade. Child King position known, and he maintains his menacing aura around him. Child King has come into the RMRs ready to rumble. Of course, one of the hottest prospects in the Chinese region as far as rifling was concerned, but there were some question marks about whether he would be able to transition it into the top of Asia. So far, it feels like he is as comfortable as a fish in water.
Yeah, I mean, doing a great job so far. I mean, just hitting a lot of the important shots when these types of fights are being given over to them. And, you know, while they haven't been able to build up loads and loads of cash in these 3 rounds, they're going to be satisfied that they're putting them away at the very least. They're making sure that GR don't get off to a hot start here in this RMR because, you know, GR are going to be a team that a lot of people will not know. You know, you have to really be watching Asian Counter-Strike, the qualifiers, the leagues that are taking part. And so names like Somebody Summer, Child King, Kaze, you will know from international tournaments. You know, Li Hang to a certain extent as well. But this is a proving ground, one that has to be something material for GR, whereas Rare Adam, it will be the expectation that they would make it.
That expectation can be damning, though. You have to remember this is a Rare Adam team where, you know, you'd say that currently the most veteran player as far as recent international appearances would be Kazi, and he is a player who has infamously struggled to make it to the major.
Yeah.
Summer. Next to Runnin, barrel spotted out. It's a dead man. Summer has to do a double take, but he'll find a corpse there nonetheless. In the meanwhile, the response is clear. A push into A, a flashbang dodge, but somebody might not be ready for how close Mediocrity is. But the Molotov will reveal, the Molotov will burn, and Mediocrity down low. He can't do anything in this position anymore. At the same time, Rare Adam are split up across the map. If this two-man setup in A can mow down 1 or 2 players quickly, things become very scary.
I mean, with all this interference being ran over on the B-bomb site, yeah, they're going to break down that A setup. And they've got 3 just holding outside of the A site here on the side of Rare Adam, ready to run through that smoke. Yeah, Seven Nation overwhelmed. And while Mediocrity is near enough by to rotate in, him being on that low HP may not be conducive to a multi, but Mediocrity delivers exceptional stuff. This A bomb site now somewhat under lock and key, even a player that can flank out from main, so they're going to get sandwiched. And with only 15 seconds left, GR have read this well, but it had to start with that double kill there for Mediocrity, and boy, did he deliver.
It's a fantastic setup from GR, even when they're breaking it off. The fact that Seven Nation is still playing this incredibly far forward position, waiting behind the smoke. He does drop the ball a bit, but Mediocrity is there to pick it right back up. And that's the thing about Mediocrity. He's always such a good late round presence. Normally you see it more on T sides, right? You're thinking back to maps like Mirage, where he just is hugging Palace all across. But when he does then come into play, he's incredibly effective with his aim. GR are now in a position where Rare Adam can have all of that momentum taken away from them. It's a 4-spy on the Chinese side, 3 Galils, an AK, and a Tech 9, but this is the kind of buy that, let's not forget, an Asian Counter-Strike can take you very far.
I think what's going to be interesting to see is, you know, GR often go for gambly rotates, you know, crazy mid-round decisions. Can they actually translate that now that they're on LAN and the pressure is higher? Because you're right, you know, these are the types of rounds that Rare Adam can sometimes steal away, and they're in a really precarious spot here. Inside of A main, they are sandwiched. They know that there is presence inside of the site. The Molotov as well will burn them forward, and so they run right into the tech of Summer. All these players inside of the site, Seven Nation and Mediocrity go 1 a pop, but they already do get traded. Sallow from heaven as well, struggling to control his spray. And given that these players are segmented, there's an AWP in play here for Wecht as well. They need a pick to incentivize this retake, but Runnin, he gets that kill he needed. Down to 24 health. Wecht is still trapped outside of main. He's being ran down by somebody, and he will get overwhelmed. Nothing that Runnin can do aside from hoof it away from this A play, but Rare Atom break through on Tex.
And this is the problem with Summer and somebody on a team. It's just you never know when they're going to be pulling out a round like it. And it's rounds where there's the least to lose. It's a force buy. You know you're not supposed to win it. You've got an exact game plan in your mind. All you have to do is press W, let the flashes land where they're supposed to, and execute. Somebody with a triple kill, even making sure that Wecht is taken down in the very end. Wecht, a player who has maybe the most to prove, who plays with the most disadvantages as an Opera on 110 ping most of the time when he's playing in Asia.
It's hard to overstate that Rare Atom are our favorites. GR need to be able to put their foot down and stop them on some front. Summer an entry over on that B bomb site, and they double up via Li Hang as well. Somebody playing around the edge of the smoke is so nefarious. He is playing like a man possessed. I mean, no fear whatsoever, and just keeping his wits about him. GR thought they had control, but somebody ripped it right out from under them.
And this is the thing about the new Rare Atom, right? This is not the Rare Atom that would, once upon a time featuring Kaze Advent and a couple of others that would sit down and fully turtle up on bomb sites, wait for the CTs to make a play when they're just standing outside, wait for this perfect execute, anything like it. This is a Rare Atom that are very willing to get their individuals just kind of crazy around smokes, pushing through, double swinging when you need to, just saying, I'm kind of better than you with an AK.
I think what's so interesting is that sometimes when we think about veteran level players, we think, oh, they're not going to take, they're going to be sort of risk averse. They're going to play a very structured game. They'll play very smart all the time. That's not to say that, being aggressive or pushing through smokes isn't smart. But, I think there are times where Rare Atom maybe spiral too much into these, high risk decision trees that you wouldn't expect from veterans maybe. But that's what also makes Asian Counter-Strike so exciting. They learn a style. Summer and Somebody have basically never let go. More Somebody than Summer.
And listen, Rare Atom might be that last fragment of crazy Asian Counter-Strike left from China. At least representing in the RMR right now.
Yeah.
But GR Gaming cannot fall to it. It's a half-buy coming up from them. And listen, let's not make any mistakes about it. We've seen some half-buy wins all across today. Against the MongolZ, as well as from the MongolZ against Lynn Vision. From DRILLAS as well. GR Gaming are hoping that it will be their time to shine. 7Nation has to be the spotlight. M4A4 at the ready. Had a bit of extra cash going into this one. Somebody waiting for the swing out from the pistols is going to be containing with the help of Kaze, who swings out with the Tech 9, takes a second. Only Wecht remaining a threat with the 5-7, but a threat now neutralized. 7Nation. Spotlight might have been on him, but now it's between him and Runnin. Both with guns picked up. Will they go for it or will they save?
If they can fish out a kill in the next 15 seconds, they can go for this, no problems, but the longer they wait, the less time they'll have. There are no kits available between them. And yeah, Rare Atom, don't give them a fight. GR will back themselves away, and Rare Atom just continuing to roll on this T side. As much as this map is T favored, I think it's been clear to note that Rare Atom have been very heavily targeting the A plays, more so than when they've been challenging B. And some of that will be, the pressure point in, adding a player like 7Nation, who has, been with the team for now coming up on, 5 months?
Yeah.
But, you've seen an uptick in performance. But when, push comes to shove, sometimes the things you learn, it may be the more recent data, but they'll have less contingencies, less backup and fallback plans as... compared to the likes of Wecht or Mediocrity, who's been playing with Salo for, coming up on those 2 years, or maybe even its 3rd year now. For them, it's a little bit easier for them to create those plans because they've been in that situation 100 times at least. 7Nation's going to have to find a way to adapt his game if they're going to continue to target him, or maybe even Salo's going to have to start, cheating a third player over at A, but could that not play into the hand of Rare Atom should they change their gameplay?
As Wax now given another opportunity, but it's still Salo and Running to take over. Rare Adam, who have tried to threaten this B-bomb site in a similar fashion, will still succeed in penetrating it, but the flashbang responds. Salo Mox picking up the AWP. It's too late to do so, and Kaze is left in a 1v1. Seven Nation sometimes put the microscope on the A site. Now it's his time on B, and he's got the timing. He's got the round. GR with number 2.
And it seemed like they were very ready for this change in pace there for Rare Adam. Just as I'm talking about how many times they've hounded this A bomb site, now they decide to change it up with a fast B take, and GR are there to greet them, and it still comes down to a very, very close exchange. I mean, critical kill there for Seven Nation to bring it over the line, but you know, Rare Adam clearly trying to throw GR off, and it almost worked.
It has worked a couple of times on the B side.
I mean, almost all the tricks that Rare Adam has tried have worked, bar that one, so don't think they're going to have their confidence knocked too heavy.
There's not been too much mid-focus outside of that one force fire round. Wet will be able to take advantage of that fact. Some are found on the lurk, and immediately you see Wet rotating backwards. All he has to do is make sure that they can't be flanked through from middle. In the meanwhile, the A-site players are once again called to order. Seven Nation, Incendiary in his hand, waiting for the push to come out, but will it be too late? He's waiting for a flashbang. He's waiting for Rare Adam to betray their intentions, but somebody is just pushing forward. He'll be able to move past it. Straight into their heads with Lee Hang he goes.
They got that precursor. They heard the flash. They got that Molotov out, but they're just able to run right past it. There's a lot of damage done to those Rare Adam members. But unless they overextend, this may just be another save call here for GR. They need the money. They need the weaponry. And that A bomb site just fell too fast. That's a really challenging position to be in. Like you said, you know, they're waiting for precursor utility, something to show intentions there from Rare Adam, and so that's what makes the contact play so valuable.
This is also one of the things that, funnily enough, I was noticing about TALON. And when I'm watching TALON, I thought, oh, TALON might be shocked by something like this. But GR themselves show that, you know, that contact style of play that a lot of these Chinese teams, historically, and funnily enough, even the Mongols like to run at times, can be very deadly. Unless you've got an AWP trained from heaven, unless you've got some sort of backup from behind so you can be second contact, feels like the first one is always a freebie.
Some words now from Duke Vishura, the new addition. Salo was crediting with, you know, innovating some of their play, bringing them up to speed and helping them learn some, I guess, hard lessons. But, I mean, they're being taught a lesson a bit in the server at the moment, so Duke's going to have to try and rein them in somehow. I don't think the idea there from GR was particularly poor, you know. A nice opening pick over on that B-bomb site, one of the few times we've seen Wecht get aggressive with that AWP. And the problem really was that the A play just was too devastating. Rare Adam were pretty coalesced over towards A, just as, I mean, just moments after Wecht found that opener.
Midside, Mediocrity tries to chain things up, and Lee Hang's found him, immediately eliminating. But at the same time, it's all a mask for Run-In to find some map control. The problem is he no longer feels comfortable contesting now that mid is empty. You know, so there could be a drop down or just a watcher up above. Salo Mux takes a lot of damage to rotate back to the A site. They've decided to go back to a 202 setup. Lots of util for GR Gaming, but for Rare Adam, they are comfortable. Just have to be careful not to go down. Wecht spots out somebody. Crucial shot to bring it back to a 4-on-4.
Now this does get a bit worrisome if you're Rare Adam. Lose out on Canal's presence. You know, your mid player can't really join up with you without making a sound cue. And so what was postured up to be a B-side split here for Rare Adam, now they may have to redivert. And, you know, part of that is due to the fact that Child King has gotten so much room inside of middle. I think the rest of the squad has been called over to try and make this a more concerted hit. And instead, back to A may be the lean.
GR's consistently had this protocol to try and just reinforce A main instead of going back and trying to play defensively. And look, this time it'll work for them. They'll get the information that there's no one outside, but does that just make them think it's a B hit? There's 4 players coming in, sneaking through. The snake is going to A, and now with the mid to B smoked off, you see Child King pushing forward. Flashbang, Molotov, it's all there, and Kaze doesn't need any of it. Now Salomux forced away as well. The bomb will go down. Kaze remodeling off A main. It all comes down to Wecht, and he's facing into one too many players. At least Salo gets response with a grenade, but as he swings forward, Child King will undo him. And that unraveling will not be just of Salomux, the captain. It's of his team as well. Rare Atom to be on 8 unless Runnin has something to say about it.
Nah, I mean, he's not going for this. Just grabbing that AWP, and will concede an 8th round here for Rare Atom. I mean, again, this time it was a 4-on-4, and so, you know, you're still a little stretched thin. There was a gap that was left open, but, you know, we'll often see teams as well, if that is their protocol, you know, they'll take A main control, and after that, they'll, you know, hold like a slim line where they can at least cover the potential of being wrapped from Temple, or, you know, players in middle getting access to camera. Instead, you know, they go in double push. They're trying to guarantee that trade, and they massively miss the window. And all in that time, Rare Atom have crept out into the A bomb site. It's a great mid round there from Rare Atom, but you know, these adjustments, these gamble calls, these you know, slightly sort of almost random, you know, forecasting rotations that I was talking about for GR that they do in their online play. That's not something that they're doing here. They're very much running within a flowchart, and at the moment it's not led to the best of results.
7 Nation around the corner. Somebody taken down by Wecht. There's that op cover that they needed before, and now 7 Nation looks to recede backwards. They don't want to overcommit, but maybe that's what they need to do. GR, at this point, these 2 rounds are a must-win. If you don't get 4 on the CT side, it's probably too little too late. Meanwhile, though, the call is reaggression. This might be the wrong move to make. Runnin doubled up inside Dark, will be pushing forward. The first duel comes in, Runnin's won it, but Salo nearby needs to follow up with a double, and he will! Some are left alone, and GR given a ray of hope.
I mean, a massive double kill there from Salo, but being doubled inside of Dark like that, so quick as well. Like you said, just the continuous holding in that aggressive posture, I mean, that's a way in which you can lose the round, but just as easily, Salo goes undetected and undeterred. 11 kills for the in-game leader of GR, and no more important than the double he's able to get in that mid-round. But again, it's a nice opener for Wecht. I think Rare Atom had the right idea, starting to lean back over towards that B-bomb site because it had the lesser reinforcements, but those 2 players that were on the site were coupled together.
Double volley out of half. Once again, Rare Atom looking to fight into middle.
Not actually challenging too heavily either. I mean, they're very light on util, so I mean, they've got a couple of techs, some rifles, but they didn't make use of what little they have. A flash and a smoke on a couple of members. That's a nice kill there from Li Hang. Just full drive-by on the Tech 9, and that's a weapon that can be recovered as well.
They decide not to. They're prioritizing speed as they start to go back to B. A full shift walk forward, and they're hoping that GR is going to go back and re-examine middle, but GR's on the opposite of that. They're looking for the lurk. They're looking for the ISO fight versus the Tech 9, but it's a hard one to win. Salo takes it regardless, repositions back to B. He knows it, pushed through smoke before. Runnin is aware. He's got 2, and Salo puts him down. GR find bare minimum.
Yeah, I mean, that they definitely need to scrape that together. And, you know, after the Duke Vishora timeout, they're able to sort of set themselves up a little bit better, you know, play off each other, and I guess stick to almost like a hinge setup where, you know, you've got couples of players positioned on that CT side, you know, bar Wecht, who, again, has just been so consistent in getting those opening kills on the AWP. This time they are able to get some rounds together, and like you said, it is kind of the bare minimum. I think there's just so many potential weapons on this Rare Atom side that as we move into the CT campaign, I think GR were definitely still getting caught off by some of these tricky maneuvers around smokes, the aggression that Rare Atom were willing to take in some of those mid-round moments, even dry. On CT side, that's not going to change that much. That can equally be a blessing and a curse.
Look, I'm never going to forget Rare Atom going up against Tyloo in the initial stages of this lineup where Child King versus Zhou King was going on in middle, and Child King's just trying to go for these crazy plays. Meanwhile, Zhou King's just sort of out-thinking, out-braining him. That's not going to happen very often, but if GR Gaming are able to sort of lock in, considering that they do like sometimes a very late round T-side based play, there's a world where those two inexperienced members in Lihang in CT side dark and Child King in middle could potentially end up finding impatience on land. They could be the ones being nervous as well. No matter what their veteran aura might be around them, it's all about, hey, you lost a couple of rounds here and there. You feel like you're not really, in the driver's seat anymore. You want to take control. You want to make that play.
And I mean, as much as this is, not the qualifying game for the major, we understand that, win a best of one into a best of three, you can have a very short route to the Shanghai opening stage. And for the veterans on this Rare Atom team, the last major sort of main stage or opening stage it would have been to was Stockholm in 2021. And that's Summer and somebody. Kaze's is much further back. That's Kato in 2019 with Vici Gaming.
Yeah, Rare Atom used to be called Vici Gaming, guys. That's how long ago it was. Well, right now the call for Rare Atom is simple. Abandon A. Look to clear out canals and bridge in the mid-round if need be, but GR Gaming will persist with a slower style. They will persist with just waiting for that aggression from the CTs.
And the slower they wait, or the slower they play out this T-side pistol, the more Rare Atom will start to be concerned about the fact they've made this sort of gamble call where they have left the A-bomb side open. Even the line that Summer's holding is not perfect. A player can slide out towards that platform and actually get inside of the site. So that's something that Summer will even have to maybe consider. Gonna take the risk that no one has cheated past on that timing. GR is still waiting, and somebody's gotten aggressive all the meanwhile. Flanking out Wecht topside middle, and now Summer is very well prepared. Some lovely shooting as well. They've had a slow start on that T side, but here on CT, ripping heads and running. May be able to get one, but that's about as much as they can. GR getting completely trounced in this pistol. They play slow, and Rare Atom, they got a little impatient, but they're rewarded for those pushes.
The thing about Summer is that he's going to have a scoreline like 310, right? And you're not going to know it because he pulls out these shots. Like, just the crispiest USB shots we're going to see. And it's like, oh, it's 2016 again. He must be doing really well. 5 and 10 now.
Yeah, not everybody's somebody.
And he is tearing it up on the server right now. Still for Rare Atom, this could be a very successful start to their RMR journey. Salomux taken down with a double swing out from Kaze, and this force spy is already being contested heavily early on. Child King brought down low, but given space to recede, and as he does do so, this B bomb site can also be reinforced by potentially 4 players. Child King decides to go back to A, but there's still a world where GR can creep through and make this deadly on B. Lihang's gone. That's piece number 1 falling down. In the meanwhile, somebody, Cold Water 14 and 7 is now down. 7 Nations Mac 10 from mid-air will take him apart. And with this, 2-on-3 bomb can be planted. Flashes to fly through. Kaze is scared. Child King is scared. Summer is scared. They don't have HP.
Yeah, especially because they know there's a Deagle in play. I mean, a Mac 10 as well. They could just finish off the job if they commit to a nice solid wide swing and just control that SMG. Wecht gets info on 2. The flash as well facilitating and knowing that there's at least a couple players that direction. That's this is the worry that they had coming into this retake. They know that stray bullets can be the kicker, but even with that in mind, Kaze just having enough health to trade. down to 8 HP. That's a really close shave there for Rare Adam, down to 2 weapons, and maybe even should have been a GR round, but not when Rare Adam's in the server, not when they are playing with as much confidence as they are.
I mean, just too many missed shots on the Deagle right there for GR. They give up what could have been a golden opportunity, and for Rare Adam, they're happy to be there to pick up the pace from there.
Yeah, they win that round. That's like a slingshot moment for GR. Their economy rebounds. Rare Adams is kind of in the bin, and we bridge that gap very quickly.
Instead, now you're down 4 and 10 and saying, well, let's force buy again because we kind of have to at this point. It's not a bad buy. They almost made it with less in the previous round, so maybe this is still going to be the call. It's a change-up, it's fast, it's speedy, it's accompanied with flashes and utility, and it's somewhere to receive, and he's received it well. The 1 kill is all you could ask for. The Incendiary to interrupt their ascent up to the site, and Child King will give them an ascent to heaven. But it's not the heaven they were hoping for. Only 2 left, GR. Wrecked in mediocrity. Looking to try and save the day, and shaky aim from somebody will give him an early grave. Mediocrity forced away by the Molotov, and they will be able to reset, but the bomb, is it on the ground? Yes, it is. Too far off, and Rare Adam will only have to try and cordon them away from it. Kaze repositions backwards, just making sure that he can pick up that smoke and redeploy it. GR have a long time to wait before it starts to dissipate.
Yeah, it felt like they missed their window. I mean, there was a smoke up with that bomb inside of it, and now that, Rare Adam have been able to secure that package and get a smoke down and even cordon off the remainder of GR here, I felt like there was a good fallback path available to them in that 2 versus 3, but now that they have to come towards this A bomb site, I mean, Rare Adam know exactly where they're headed.
Continuing forward, spots at the high-low setup, and now they've got to figure out how to unravel it. Child King was already low. He's happy playing it incredibly defensively, almost kill number 3, and that's where his teammates have to pick up his slack. But as Wecht starts to move back, Liang and Kaze will be able to continue to swing again. It's rounds where Rare Adam might show moments of weakness, but individual brilliance still shines through.
I mean, just really nicely contained. And also not giving GR the fights they were looking for. I mean, you saw Wecht, as soon as he spotted that high-low setup, as soon as he killed low, he stared high. And, in that moment, I guess, lowering his guard, not expecting that third player to be so close by that he could, I guess, contain GR's progress. Just nice, smooth communication. They didn't overstep. They knew that GR were desperate. And now Li Hang just being assertive. A double swing out from dark. And just being very confident about it. I mean, it's a very well-rounded effort from Rare Adam. You can see the shooting and the sharpness is there for them at the start of this RMR.
We haven't even needed to see Kaze's up.
Yeah. Not even sure he's that keen on it, on Anubis.
Who is really?
Well, I mean, Wecht was. He was getting a lot of
that's
solid
true.
openers.
Fair enough. Don't answer my rhetorical questions.
Modesty, I think, likes it, but...
Okay, but you know what? Maybe Child King wants to stick to the M4. At least we can agree on something. My Child King also wants to be disagreeable. He's found a headshot. Following up for more. He is here to party. Only mediocrity left. It's tough days ahead of him. Frankly, tough days behind him as well. And it feels like Rare Adam want to at least end those days for GR Gaming. Make it a quick little welcome to LAN, if you would.
Yeah, it's not been a very warm welcome. They've maybe been receptive in places, but you still have to put your foot down and show them who's boss. Rare Adam were going to be the favorites coming into this matchup. I think we tried to paint this argument, this case, that GR would be a more exciting team than most people would recognize, and I'd say we still stand by that. But you could definitely see that Rare Adam are just a league above right now at the start of the RMRs, and you'd maybe hope that GR are able to shake that when you get into best of threes. But that could be one of the challenges as a team that has limited exposure to LAN events,
international tournaments, even just other brands of Counter-Strike. Where Adam have that in spades. They've played a pretty concise game, set intentions, and they've been very clear about what they want to do. And this time it's somebody that just wants to take fights. And he'll succeed on his first. Kaze does trade out the second. But they're not feeling too perturbed. Maybe they'll be a little perturbed now. Kaze down to 11 HP. Yeah, the smoke fading in front of Li Hong's face. Kaze trying to commit to the reface, and he does. On his 11 health, he went for the trade, and he succeeds. It's only running that remains. 40 seconds with bomb on back and a 1 versus 3 ahead of him. There is a clear path that he can take towards that A bomb site that we can see, but can he forecast how Rare Adam have played this? They're all clustered together. They're playing numbers. Kaze's going for the jiggle as well, and he's been spotted out. He didn't have HP to start with. Runin's heading back to the B bomb site, though. Chalking's gonna know smoke's been deployed, so Runin now feels like he has to push through it. He doesn't really have a choice about this one. Chalking's gonna be getting the easiest kill of his life, and there you go, 13 for Rare Adam. They're gonna be going forward and be our third semifinalist.
Yeah, I mean, upper bracket final for this team is, I guess, what we expected in that opening round, understanding that, you know, Rare Adam have all that experience. We have all these caveats about whether or not GR are going to be able to perform on LAN, and I think we had some of